We are now moving on to the other side of the bracket. So remember earlier in the video when I talked about Tom MacDonald and Madchild? Well, Tom has worked a lot with this next artist I'm about to talk about, and unfortunately, they're worse than he already is. We're talking about Adam Calhoun. Now Adam Calhoun talks about political matters as well. I mean, they produced 2 albums together with the intention of that, but there's something that makes him different than his collaborator. Matter of fact, no, it's not just that he's American and has more of a right to talk about the politics that Tom discusses in his music. It's the fact that he's racist and actually said the N-word in one of his songs. Take the song Racism for example. This song sits at a 0 out of 100 on Album of the Year, being by far the lowest rated rap song on Album of the Year. But that's not even the worst part. If you go 1 minute and 19 seconds into the song, he starts describing black people as the N-word and then proceeds to detail a bunch of incorrect stereotypes that make up who they are. It's really just race baiting, and I shouldn't give into it too much, but it was so bad that it was one of the first songs I remember giving a not good when I first heard it. As for Tyga, however, he has a completely different issue with its music. It's way too overly sexual and he raps about the most disgusting shit. Stimulated, a song he released in 2015, is still, to this day, the worst thing he has ever put out, with this song sitting at a 2 of 100 on Album of the Year. If you listened to the song, you would know why it's bad. Also in 2018 he released this album named Kyoto, which has an overly sexualized cover of a tiger girl stretching her ass out over the Japanese flag. I can't even show the full cover cause that'll get me demonetized. But on this album he basically attempts to do R&B and it sucks. Sure, he can't do anything right, but at least he doesn't embarrass himself nearly as bad as Adam Calhoun does. Wanna know why? Cause we expect it coming from Tyga. For Adam it's inexcusable, which is why he's getting this first one. Next up is Designer against Rucka Rucka Ali. Now if you don't know who Designer is, which I would actually be surprised if you've never heard of him, he was signed to Kanye West's Getting Out of Our Dreams label, otherwise known as Good Music. He has made some significant contributions to Kanye's discography on songs like Part 2 and Sky City, which was originally a Yandhi track. However, he demanded to be let go from the label since they were treating his career unfairly. So he made an album called Fuck Good in 2019, which didn't get a cleared release from his label. The only song that made streaming services is Circles with Ty Dolla $ign and Pusha T, so basically his label screwed him over big time. As for his style itself, I think Nicki Minaj said it best when she called it retarded. Like he literally sounds like a special ed student. I'm not even trying to be rude. That's how it is. Also don't forget that he beat his meat on a plane last year next to an elderly couple, which is just disgusting. As for Rucka Rucka Ali, he has made very offensive and racist song parodies that have gotten him in a lot of trouble. He literally has an album named Black Man of Steel, which is the most racist album you will ever listen to. He even had to remove a song called I Wanna Rape because he went too far. He, a 28-year-old at the time of recording that song, wanted to rape an 18-year-old Meg Griffin. That is about a 10-year age difference between them, which makes that weird and creepy. So definitely him. Smoking Skull has gained quite the negative reception in the underground lately. Now he's far from the worst on the list, cause guarantee me that the artist he's going up against is somehow even worse. But what I will say about him is that he has ruined the sound of the underground as a whole. Loud ass 808s that drown out the performances themselves and an apparent lack of mixing that makes it sound even more shit. He just intentionally makes everything he does sound like shit because he's a known audio terrorist. He likes to insult your ears. You are not gonna have a good time listening to him. More people would prefer to go deaf. You may think that I'm being unnecessarily harsh when it comes to this music, but just remember that I gave his mixtape The Skull Effect a 0 out of 10 and put it at the number 20 spot on my worst albums of 2023 list. So my hatred is justified. Now I did say that the next artist he was competing against was worse. You're probably wondering how that's possible. Well, let me tell you. He is competing against Bryson Gray, a Republican rapper who is homophobic. So that should give you a clear idea of who's winning. Now it's Mabu against Tyson James. So Lil Mabu is one of those gimmick rappers that steals from black culture despite him being white himself and not, quote unquote, living that life. He's never experienced a loss. He's the definition of a culture vulture. He adopted the drill culture and tried to make it as his own. And since it isn't his own, he has gotten called out for it. This video I used to be pay called Why You Should Hate Lil Mabu describes it perfectly, so go watch it after you're done with this video. Now unfortunately, he's competing against another Republican rapper. This time it's Tyson James. Tyson James is also homophobic, so he's winning as well. This one's really easy. Looking at both artists and their performances, I have to go Lil Mosey cause he feels more unmotivated and bored making his music. If you need any proof of that, then his Love You Forever EP is proof of that. And if you didn't know that Mosey even dropped this year, then I don't blame you. People checked out a long time ago. Now as for Yoko Ono, she ruined John Lennon in the later years of his career and played a part in him dying a few years later. Yeah, it was that bad. Plus the entirety of Warzone sounds like she's trying to strain out a shit while singing. But still, Mosey is worse. And apparently PP Cocaine is more annoying than Coilere somehow. I'm not gonna waste too much time on this one. Submarine Man's mic quality is much worse, so we're going with him. While we're on the topic of bad mic quality, Young Odie. He sounds like he records all of his shit on an Xbox 360 lobby. Think I'm kidding? He says the N-word, like, a lot in his music. And it's not even a joke or funny gimmick either. He's just racist for the sake of being racist. And that clearly gets him the win. Adam Calhoun's lyrics are far worse. Let's do the same thing here and speedrun it again. Both sides have now been completed. It is now time to move on to the semi-finals. This is a no-brainer. It's Olaf. Well. If it isn't the most predictable matchup of the entire bracket. Obviously Rucker Ali. Now it's time for the moment you all have been waiting for. The final matchup. This determines who the worst artist of all time is. I mean obviously Rucker Ali. There was no trying to hide that. And with that, Rucker Ali has been declared the worst artist of all time. And that draws this series to a close. Well, at least the main series. This was a new video concept for me, as I have truly learned a lot within all the time of me doing this. So trust me when I say that the next bracket video will be even better now knowing what I do. As I said earlier, please tell me how I did in the comments. And if you enjoyed this, then please like and subscribe. Or if this goes up on VR, then follow me and give me 5 stars. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.